Just when you think things couldn't get worse for Rachel Zegler's Snow White, it appears that they gotten worse. That Disney has had enough of Rachel Zegler. And they're trying to do everything in their power to hopefully minimize the damage that this is going to do to the box office of this film. Before I get into it, could you do me a huge favor and please hit the subscribe button? It's a free thing that you could do that helps out the channel. I hope you're ready. Now let's get into it. Variety just released this. It says Disney scales back Snow White Hollywood premiere amid Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot. That's right. I know I said it wrong. That way people would say it correctly. Anyway, controversies. The controversies, huh? They're scaling back. I said this, and many of you who watch my videos also predicted this because you're the smartest group of people in all of YouTube, I might add, that these two would not be together for the press tour. And some of the people were like, nah, man, no, that's not true. They will be together. That's silly of them. Why would they not do it? It's the press tour. It's how they get hyped for the film where people will come out and watch it. No, after that Oscars moment, everyone could see that they didn't even look at each other. They wanted nothing to do with each other. And it appears we are correct. As of right now, Gal Gadot is out in the American press doing the talk shows. She did the morning show. She did late night. And she did it all by herself. Where's Rachel? Rachel's over in Asia, and I think in Spain, just singing songs to people. Not even taking a single question about Snow White. They're not being seen together, nor is Disney deciding to put them together. But hey, they got to come together for a big premiere in Hollywood, right? Like, that's foolish. Disney's never done that before. Well, according to Variety, Disney is hosting a Hollywood premiere of Snow White on March 15th. But the red carpet will not include the dozens of media outlets usually invited by Disney to interview the cast and creatives at its premieres. That's right. No media. They're not going to be there asking Rachel the questions, asking about Snow White. They don't want Rachel to say anything. Disney's like, we got to silence her. We don't want her to answer any questions. We don't want people there. We've got too many problems with this film. We've got to do something. Just keep her quiet, please. It said instead, coverage will be limited to photographers and a house crew. That's crazy. This was supposed to be one of the biggest Disney films. They did reshoots. They spent millions of dollars. They thought this was going to be the next big remake that everyone's going to flock to and love. It has turned out to be nothing but a disaster. They probably are not even going to break even at this point. It says the studio did not comment for the story, but the scaled back plans come amid controversies surrounding the film, which hits theaters March 21st. Not March. Well, what are those controversies? Controversy number one. Yep, they called me, you, and everybody toxic who questioned Snow White being played by Rachel Zegler. That's right. If you question it, you're like, hey, that's not how Snow White is described in the books, you know? Skin as pale as snow kind of thing. You got Rachel Zegler, so we question, well, you're immediately labeled as toxic. The star also faced backlash when she called the 1937 original dated because the prince literally stalks Snow White. Yikes. Next is, in an interview with Variety, Zegler said she's not going to be saved by the prince. She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. All this is because Rachel Zegler opened her mouth. I'm just saying, these are the controversies. And next one is Peter Dinklage, who's a little person. He goes, he spoke out about the movie's portrayal of the little people for perpetuating negative stereotypes. So you know what they did? They said, well, we'll make him CGI, and you don't have to worry about it. We'll make him CGI, Peter. So people lose their jobs. Way to go. Shortly following Dinklage's remarks, Disney said in a statement to Good Morning America, to avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original animated film, we're taking a different approach with these 7 characters. Didn't call them dwarfs. The 7 characters. That's right. We're going to make them CGI. Then the damage control started with Zegler saying, I interpret people's sentiment towards this film as passion. What an honor to be a part of something that people feel so passionately about. But nobody was buying it. They were like, oh, man, you can't backtrack now. We know what you're doing. We know what you're saying, but that's not the biggest controversy that a lot of people are seeing. World politics have also come into play. Zegler has promoted Free Palestine on social media. Yes, she posted that right under the teaser trailer of Snow White. At the same time, Godot, who is Israeli, has become an outspoken supporter of Israel on social media. That's right, she gave a speech, and she has been very, very outspoken. So this appears to be the big wedge in between the two stars. If you go on any post from Snow White, because they just released some footage, which I don't think I'm allowed to play on YouTube, half the comments are, I'm going to pass, this looks terrible. And then the people that supported Rachel Zegler's statement are saying, Gal is a horrible actress, she's terrible, she's evil, she's this, she's that, and just trash her to no end. So then there's people saying, I support Rachel, but I'm not going to watch this film with Gal in it, so I am going to boycott. So now you have that divide where people are like, I'm not, if that's true, unless they're just being Twitter weirdos, like we all know how possible that is. Then there was this. MAGA supporters also blasted Zegler for her reaction to Donald Trump's re-election when she posted on Instagram, may Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. She later apologized for her remarks 2 days later. With all that being said, the pre-ticket sales have launched and it is on track to earn a terrible $53 million in its domestic box office opening. Now, my prediction is when it's all said and done, this movie will do 310. Could be wrong. Could be a lot higher. Could be a lot lower. Only time will tell. But the truth is, with all this stuff going on, Disney's like, we can't afford to have Rachel say anything else because, man, at this rate, if she keeps talking, no one's coming to see this film. Absolutely no one. We will be a laughingstock to think that we could pull off a live-action Snow White. And there you have it. But what do you think? Too little, too late? Is that what's going on here? What do you think this movie is going to make in the overall box office? Is it going to bomb? Are you going to be like, Jay, it's just Twitter noise. Nobody really cares what goes on Twitter. You people are the only ones. Well, what do you mean, you people? I need to know. This is Jay, and we will catch you next time.